In most things in life, knowing the full story is very crucial.
Ooh, Yaoi review.
Hi everybody, it's Corbin, and today I'm here to talk to you about Satisfaction Guarantee Volume 4 by Ryo Saenagi. I'll read the back and we shall delve into it and get into the nitty-gritty. This volume of Satisfaction Guarantee is a supernatural delight. Despite hating getting his fortune told, Shima has his tarot read by an exotically handsome young man. But kismet turns into chaos when reading isn't all wine and roses, and strange things start happening in Shima. Will he realize that a life of problem-solving may not be in the stars? This is rated teens, so 13+, and it's a comedy. Now, this is published by Tokyopop, which doesn't really exist anymore. I don't know if I've talked about that in the last few. But you can still get your hands on these. They tend to be used copies, but you can sometimes find them still new. It's not a far-fetched thing to find. Now, the title story, the one that they talk about in the summary, is... Well, let's rewind. Art style has not dramatically changed. That's still... It opens up with a little bio about the characters. It gives you a little summary of what the entire story, overall theme is going to be. It has cover art, or title page art, and then the art style stays the same. It's still that mid to late 2000 kind of art style. It's not amazingly modern, but it's not so retro that you feel like you're reading something from the 80s. So yeah, that's that. The characters are beautifully depicted. Now, I did find myself getting characters mixed up. I did find myself wondering who was who and how was he in 3 places at once. So there isn't much variation on how characters are depicted in this. They all kind of start to meld together and look the same. So that is something to bear in mind with this. It is a little bit confusing from character to character from time to time because of the way they're depicted, the way they're drawn, and the mannerisms don't quite change from character to character. So, I mean, like Kaio, I could imagine Kaio being Shima really easily because the only difference between the two is one is blonde and one's not. Otherwise, the mannerisms are identically drawn. The way they move is identically drawn. There isn't much of a difference besides, well, the height and then the hair color. That's it. They look almost identical. They act almost the same. So that's kind of a character and artistic development issue. It's still really good. It doesn't hinder the work too much. Just on occasion, you have to recap who's who. I mean, if you're a speed reader, you may not have that issue because you may not be staring at the art as much, but if you're somebody like me who likes to sit and look at the picture and read the caption and look at the picture again, see what I mean, that's just the way my brain works when I read these. So it can be a little sticky. Now, in this one, the fortune teller is a transgender sort of individual. I'm saying that loosely because they don't exactly attack it directly. The closest they get to explaining that he likes to be more effeminate and dress more like a woman is when he tells us about his past and why he became a fortune teller. And he says, I always knew something was different about me, but it wasn't until a fortune teller told me that I'd make more friends if I was honest with myself. Kind of deal. And and you're sitting there the entire time wondering, well, is he or isn't he? Because everybody always comments, well, he looks like a woman, he's so pretty. So it is what it is. I don't quite know how to interpret it personally. I'm just going to make the leap and say that's what the author was intending. So, yeah. The first one's plotline is pretty much a child case. We have an not an abandoned. They were hired to take care of the child for 3 days. But we have a child who mysteriously is left for them to care for. And is... It kind of raises a few eyebrows. It's a different sort of case I didn't expect for them. I did not think they would go down towards the whole jealous brother kind of kicking out little brother thing. But it had a very interesting plot twist. It had a very interesting turn. But, here's the big but, it most definitely was very predictable. It was just unexpected. Now, I liked it a lot, the first one. Very, very good. Now, the second one was a little more heavier. It dealt with abuse. In particular, it dealt with revenge and spousal abuse towards women getting abused. That's the easiest way to kind of summarize it. That one I found a little more heavy. That one was a little more, it dragged on. It was very obvious after the first few pages, who was guilty, who had done it. And I have to say, it didn't surprise me the way it ended. I think it was more of a okay and kind of situation. I didn't like, perhaps, the way certain things were portrayed, and I didn't like the way, in particular, men were villainized in this. The message that I took away was all men are abusers, but some men can be nice. And it's just a mixed bag with the second story. It was still good. It didn't hurt the story at all. It was interesting. It made me want to read the next one. So that's kind of where I stand with this. I will be purchasing the last two of these. They most definitely, what is that on the cover? They do most definitely deal with shonenai aspects. Constantly, Kyo is being pushed towards falling in love with Shima. Constantly we were dealing with characters who want to get with Shima all the time, like the tarot reader in the first story wanted Shima, and then jokingly said, I'll give you tarot reading instead, kind of thing. So it's just one of those, it's almost a full-blown yaoi. It just needs a kiss, realistically. That's all it needs. It reminds me of Gorgeous Carrot in that way. All it needed was a kiss to make it a yaoi, and Gorgeous Carrot, you got a kiss and more. So yeah, there's that. If you guys have questions or comments, or have read this before, let me know down in the comments below. Share this with a friend who likes yaoi, and I will talk to you guys later. If you like what you see, then subscribe!